cosmic gate.
Good evening, family. It is Thursday, the 23rd of March 2023, and Pluto is about to go into Aquarius in 3 hours from now.
Something for your mind, your body, and your soul. It's the power to arouse curiosity, the purpose, the goal which one acts on. A journey of force, hot like the sun and wet like the rain. Rhythmic movements in unison with others prolong an act of sensation with no limits or boundaries. Eternity is past. Wrong is right. It's the point of greatest intensity. Pleasures of the highest sense. Feelings of warmth and security. Willing and unwilling sensations of the mind. Condition. The ultimate seduction. The realm. Something for your mind. Something for your mind. Something for your mind. Something.
I have to take it down because YouTube is warning me. So that was a pretty epic start for this love stream, which is kind of contained the blurb that is kind of matching for the transition that is happening today. I hope the sound is working well with the music. I fixed it up, so I hope everything is working properly this time. Hello Simone, hello brother Robert, hello Carrie, hello Janeline, shalom brother Guy, shalom Dana. So I have to stop that song because of copyright stuff, but yeah, it is what it is. We bring the Mahamritanya mantra to bear to kind of cuddle us in the background. I had to pull myself out of my sacred cave to this love stream. The community is well aware, but this week, 2 nights ago, I have farewelled my beloved grandfather who passed away from this world peacefully in an old age, 91 years old. He lived the life. So yeah, it's been very sacred few days for me of just honoring his passing and just being disconnected from the external world and kind of tuning into my own sacred honoring time of my grandfather. So yeah, God bless him. May he rest in peace, and I devote everything I do this week for his memory. And I hope he's watching me now and proud of what I'm doing. Hello brother Bharat and Rukshika and Trishan, and hello D, hello brother Roll King. So it's been a very good emotional weekend in a way. It's like all the last few years. Hello Jody, hello. All the last few years I felt like everything in the astrology was really kind of impacting me directly, and even this experience, it was quite amazing because I was guiding you to know that we've come into this new moon in Aries on Tuesday night, Wednesday early morning. That we've come to that new moon in Aries, the new astrological year, the new beginning, the new initiation. But we've come there with the dark moon in Pisces, which is the ultimate surrender and let go and death, and with Pluto at the end of Capricorn. Capricorn represents the patriarchy, the elders. And I found myself in this place where, 4 hours before the new moon sound healing meditation, I received the update that he has passed away. And I found myself having both of these Pisces and Aries, this kind of the need to go and facilitate the new moon for the people and to initiate the new circle for all of us, while suddenly experiencing the loss and the grief and the passing and the end of a patriarch figure in my life, an elder figure in my life that has taught me a lot of discipline and a lot of ethics and integrity, of faith, of spirituality, of prayer, of ritual. he has been a massive foundation in my spiritual life. So it was so symbolic of the astrology of that new moon. And I don't know how most of you have had that. Hello, Ruina. Hello, brother Steven. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, all of you. And yeah, I want to say once again, thank you, love and gratitude to all the community on Patreon. Your beautiful blessings for my grandfather this week, and to us when the announcement came out, really heartwarming, and I really appreciate love all of you, and thank you so much. And thank you for your ongoing support and for supporting this work and this service. And this is why I show up. I show up because you show up, and we show up to each other. So, having you by my side is what keep on fueling me to keep on showing up and do the work in different times in life, in different events in life. Still, showing up here for you is like, it wasn't easy to show up tonight because I wasn't feeling like the mood to be in cameras and in lights and speaking. It's more very inward time, but with Pluto, I just had to show up because Pluto, right at the end minutes, and like Pluto goes into Aquarius at 11:14 p.m. tonight, so it's like 2 hours and 50 minutes from now. We are literally having this love stream in the final 3 hours of Pluto in Capricorn. And it's that Capricorn, it's that show up, don't give up, don't quit, still show up, be responsible, be in service, be in your role, find the power to show up and find the power to still pull through and push through. And all that graduation stage we've been going on for all this March, with Saturn that was at the end of Aquarius into Pisces, and now Pluto at the end of Capricorn into Aquarius. These are massive shifts. This is for each one of us and for the entire collective. We are dealing with a complete frequency shift. Like the tune that we were dancing to in the dance floor is changing completely. You go from salsa to heavy metal. You go from say classical symphony, you go to doof doof trance. It's a complete different experience. So we need to be very gentle with ourselves, because we are going through very big changes of vibration. Vibration is a keyword with Aquarius. Thank you, Simone. Thank you, my darling. Thank you. So we have to understand that in the background, that the day by day are very eventful. But as we prepared for this March for a while, I did whatever I could to prepare you for this March in advance, saying, March is huge, March is huge. Here we are, 23rd of March. We are now starting the last week of March. And the first week we had Saturn shifting into Pisces and the full moon. Second week we had the Mars squaring all the Neptune and Sun and Mercury in Pisces. Now the third week was the new moon, with all the rest that was happening there, square Mars, which was 2 days ago. And now we are facing Pluto shifting into Aquarius tonight. And then the next thing that is happening, that once Pluto moves into the 0 degree of Aquarius, now it's also starting a longer term square to the moon nodes. The moon nodes, as you can see them right now, they're on 4 degrees and 15 minutes on your 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock on the chart. Hola, hermano Hector. Hola, good to have you with us, brother. So as you can see, just a second. I hope you can hear give me thumbs up if you can hear the Mahamritanya mantra in good levels. On the chart, as you can see, the moon nodes are on 3 o'clock, and the north node in Taurus, 3 o'clock, 4 degrees and 15 minutes of Taurus. And the south node is 4 degrees, 15 minutes of Scorpio. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you. Hello, Alex. Good to have you. I just want to let you know, family. Today, Alex came to give me some of her magic, healing, some of her acupuncture, some of her healing touch, and she is just so spot on. So, anyone who needs some good acupuncture, just contact Alex. She's really awesome in what she's doing, and thank you, Alex, live as well, on top of my personal gratitude. That was another thing, is like after Alex left, I was like, whoa, boom, I was hit. And then I had to scoop myself up and bring myself into you. So back to the chart, as you can see the nodes on your 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock. On the bottom, in the 6 o'clock, you've got Pluto on the 29 degrees and 59 minutes. And so I'm going to take us now to 11:14 p.m., which is literally 2 and a bit hours from now. So here is 11. And now I'm gonna take it to 11:14 p.m. There we go. There it is. Sorry, 11:23. So 2 hours and 40 minutes from now. 11:23 p.m. tonight. Pluto here on your 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 0 degrees, 0 minute, Aquarius. Welcome to an energy vibration that planet Earth didn't experience since 1777. This is a very long time since Pluto has been in Aquarius. What happened in 1777 when Pluto moved to Aquarius? There was the Revolution War in America, and there was the French Revolution. Pluto, there's many things we can say about this, but whatever Pluto is going to initiate for us in Aquarius, it's going to be ongoing process from now into the end of 2024, because tonight Pluto goes into Aquarius. It's gonna station on this degree, and then by June, 12th of June, Pluto retrograde back into Capricorn until, and only in January 2024, Pluto will come back into Aquarius. And then in June, it will retrograde again, and it will enter Capricorn again for September, October only for 2 months of 24. And in October 24, when he moves forward, he goes into Aquarius for a solid 20 years. So I used this metaphor before, but I will remind it again. Think that Pluto is the wrecking ball, is deconstruction and reconstruction, it's death and rebirth, it's deep transformation, it's deep evolution, it's the archetype of power. It's literally like that reckless universal power that is beyond your control. It is on a soul level, on evolutionary level. It is representing Shambhala, the underworld. And it comes like a wrecking ball that comes to, think that there is a construction site and you want to demolish the old house in order for you to build a new house. So you bring that crane with that massive ball made out of steel or titanium or whatever that is, and it goes like, boom, we smash it through that. So here we are in the first turn, like from Capricorn into Aquarius, boom. And we initiate the future, and then it goes back into Capricorn to destroy even further. Boom. And then it comes back into Aquarius to rebuild, to initiate the future. Boom. And then in September, October 24, it goes one last time. Boom. And boom. And that's it. It's moving. So it's like boom, 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 boom. So it's like the pirate ship, The pirate ship goes in the Luna Park. It goes a bit up and then a bit forward backwards, and then it goes further forward, then go further backwards until it can do the full 360. It's a similar concept. So this transition of Pluto from Capricorn to Aquarius is starting tonight, and it's gonna be with us for the next year and a half. In and out, in and out. So in a nutshell, what can we see? What happened in the last month, in the last few weeks, when Pluto was at the final minutes of Capricorn? The banking crisis started. You know, the Silvergate Bank, then the Credit Suisse Bank, there was another one, I forgot the name of it now because I got a bit out of the loop in the last few days. But, you know, those kind of regional banks in America, startup banks kind of falling down, going into Europe, then immediately the central bank and the Federal Reserve printing money to kind of put a band-aid over the broken bone. It's like, oh, just give them billions of dollars to kind of fix it so the people will not freak out and do a run on the bank, and then we're going into chaos. This could collapse our economy. So print money, fix it. And okay, let's breathe. But it's temporary. The collapse is inevitable. The crash is inevitable. It will happen. So it's all about see the red flags, take action, do what you need to do. That's one aspect. Now, so it's not only Pluto goes into Aquarius, it's also the fact that once it goes into Aquarius, the nodes, as I mentioned before, here is the south node, 4 degrees 15 minutes, north node, 4 degrees 15 minutes, and they are squaring. You see those red lines? Squaring. Now, it's a 4 degrees square. But what happens is that as Pluto moves through the 0 degree, the nodes move backwards, they retrograde, so they will go into the 3rd degree. And then Pluto retrograde to the 29, and the nodes are closing in. They come into the 2nd degree, and the 1st degree, and the 0 degree. And they're going to do that square over the next 6-7 months. So if I'll take you, let's go 1 month forward, and we're only focusing on Pluto and the nodes. Pluto in a month from now, 0 degrees 20 minutes, the nodes exactly on 0 degrees. We go 1 month forward, here is May, Pluto is retrograding. So when is Pluto going retrograde? Pluto station retrograde on the 1st of May. So we have 5 weeks. 5 weeks of Pluto still going direct. It comes to the 0 degrees 21 minutes of Aquarius, and then it's station retrograde. The nodes on 4 degrees 2 minutes. Now we move 1 month forward. Pluto 0 degrees 8 minutes. The nodes on 3 degrees 37 minutes. We move another month forward. Pluto 29:36 of Capricorn. So just to be precise, when is it going exactly back to Capricorn? It's going back to Capricorn exactly on the 11th of June. So just if you want to put those notes for yourself. There you go. On the 11th of June at around 8 p.m. That's when Pluto goes back into Capricorn. When is that? The node's on 3 degrees. We go another month forward. Pluto 29:22. The node's on 0 degree 48. So in July, the nodes are shifting from Taurus Scorpio into Aries Libra. So we're gonna go exactly to that date now, just so we can. Oops, went too far. There we go. We're only dealing with Pluto and the nodes right now, so don't get lost in all the rest. We're just staying with the nodes and Pluto. The nodes are moving out of Taurus Scorpio into Aries Libra on the 18th of July. Okay, so July is a big shift, so we're gonna have Venus retrograde in July. and the North Node and the South Node moving from Scorpio Taurus to Aries Libra, and as they do that, they do it in a square to Pluto. So Pluto squaring the nodes, Pluto in Aquarius squaring the nodes in Taurus Scorpio, and is carrying this square from that into Pluto in Capricorn and the nodes in Aries Libra. It's a very interesting thing by itself to watch this square evolve from Taurus Scorpio to Pluto in Aquarius to Aries Libra and Pluto in Capricorn. So on the 18th of July the moon nodes shift, so we have 4 months of the final 4 months of the moon nodes in Taurus Scorpio. Okay, and then we move in. I'll take it another month forward, and oops, that's too much. I'll take it a week forward. There we go. On the 25th of July is the exact square of the moon nodes to Pluto. So from tonight, Pluto, as soon as he entered the 0 degree of Aquarius, Pluto is squaring the moon nodes from tonight, 23rd of March. And this square is going to be tightening up and tightening up and tightening up and reach the climax of it on the 25th of July. Now the nodes represent the destiny. So this is kind of like a square in regards to, it's like the faith axis, the faith and the destiny axis is being challenged by Pluto, which is the reckless agent of evolution and deep transformation. So this is like, Pluto is the shaman. Pluto is the shaman that is forcing you to face your deepest fears, your deepest pain, your deepest trauma, in order for you to kind of release them and let them go, and let the old cycle die so you could rebirth as new to evolve beyond. And Pluto rules Scorpio, and this is where the South Node is right now. So to have the ruler of Scorpio squaring the South Node of past lifetimes and past karma in Scorpio, which is past trauma and past abuse and pain and death and rebirth, quite intense, very intense. So this is the process with the nodes. Keep that in the back of your head, that from now we are 4 months into the crescendo of it. And then even then it will take another, let's say, you see they're still squaring a week later, it's only, let's say, we could probably feel it until, yeah, there we go, wow, it goes on for a while. Because Pluto here by October, Pluto here is on the 2754, moon nodes 2455, it's still 3 degrees apart, the same like now. So we're waiting for Pluto to move forward and the degrees to kind of really shift back. And we're already in November. But by November we will feel it less, but it's still going to be there. But I'm just showing you that the moon nodes are squaring Pluto from now until the end of the year, and it's tightening in when did I say? What was that? 25th of July? I think it was 25th of July. And only in November it kind of really breaks out. But if I go back to July, yeah, 25th of July. Yeah, it was 25th of July. So 25th of July is the crescendo of this square of Pluto and the nodes. So just pay attention to the node, to the chat room. Alright, hello. Okay, cool. Shalom, Ima. Shalom. Sending love to all of you, all the family over there. Charlotte and Baron, hello. So this is just one aspect we spoke about until now of Pluto with the moon nodes. I'm gonna take the chart back to now. There's so many layers in the current process, and it's all kind of just an ongoing evolutionary machine wave that we have no control over. It's from much superior power than us. It's on much larger scale than us, and we are like this little thing that, you know, there is this kind of massive wave in the ocean and you are just the plankton, you know, you're the little fish. All you can do is just kind of like let the water carry you. It's like there's not too much you can do. You can only navigate your momentary day by day kind of thing, but other than that there are such big forces operating. So let's talk Pluto in Aquarius. And the easy way to talk about that is to talk about the archetypes of each. So as we said until now, I'm just moving it again to 1124, 1123 when Pluto goes into, there you go, 1123, Pluto here, 0 degrees. So Pluto, as we said until now, rules Aquarius, rules Shambhala, rules the underworld. It's the archetype of power and control. It's the archetype of deep evolution, deep transformation, facing your fears in order for you to evolve and transform beyond them, reclaiming your power. It's that kind of like the agent of death and rebirth, you know, the time of ending and beginning. And so if we kind of now honoring the last 14 years of Pluto in Capricorn, 2008 until today, it will happen again as we spoke about it, but this is the symbolic entrance. As soon as Pluto entered Capricorn, I mentioned this before, just a second. As soon as Pluto entered Capricorn, we had a financial crisis in 2008. And, you know, there was the bank bailout, and then since then, you know, all the stock market's been going up, real estate going up, printing money, blowing the bubble into a whole new levels of expansion, which at the ultimate end of it, it's destructive. It's basically supporting the complete collapse of it, because you just can't keep on doing that. And at the same time, at the same year, Satoshi Nakamoto, which we don't know who it is, what it is, who they are, who he is, who she is. Thank God we don't know, because that's part of the magic. Invented Bitcoin as a need to provide a remedy for the world economy that is different than the past, that is more in the philosophy of decentralization, integrity, trust in code, because the previous system showed us that the corruption is in the man. Within the man action, there is the corruption. Then the whole concept of Bitcoin was to create the blockchain, the ledger that has all transaction on it. Nothing can be faked, nothing can be lied, everything is traceable. And so there's no longer need to trust a person or a bank or a government, because the trust is within the code. You can see it's all in the blockchain. And the idea that it takes the power from a centralized focal point of Capricorn, the banking system, the financial institutions, and spread it amongst the collective, decentralized. No one is in control. There is no CEO. It doesn't belong to one country, it doesn't belong to one corporate, it belongs to one and all. Everyone can own Bitcoin, everyone can run a node of Bitcoin, everyone can be a part of the Bitcoin, of the blockchain, everyone has a chance. Even a third world country can embrace it and develop an economy built on that, like it's happening in El Salvador. In Africa, there is a lot of adoption. In third world countries, there's a lot of adoption because they actually really need that. They have no choice. So they don't do it in order to make money. They do it in order to get by through the day by day. But since 2008, if we look at Capricorn, the institutions, government, if it's financial institution, the education system, the medical system, the law and order, the use of power, the use of control. Capricorn is the archetypes of integrity, of maturity, of responsibility, of karma. And what did we see in the final years of Pluto in Capricorn? The last 3 years especially. All the lockdowns, all the restrictions, all the kind of mandatory things. We saw corruption of, different things that I don't want to talk about too much, but you know what I'm talking about. All the poo, all the juice, all the stuff that was going on around that. Remind you, a year ago we saw the police shooting at local Melbourneians in the park because they were doing a peaceful protest against the mandatory thing. It's easy to forget these things, but it happened. 2 years ago we could only leave home for 2 hours just to do exercise and come back home. Easy to forget, but those are the things that happen. And so this is what Pluto showed us. It showed us what no longer works. It showed us what has been corrupted. It showed us what has lost integrity. It showed us where power has been abused. It showed us where money has been abused. It showed us where sex has been abused. If you look at Pluto in Capricorn, 14 years, in the last 14 years, when Pluto entered Capricorn, 2008, we all received the iPhones. The smartphones came into our life. Suddenly, it was more than just SMS and cool communication. It was, the internet in your hand, the applications, the apps. And then what happened? All the sex dating sites, for example, what it did to the structure of marriage, Capricorn. What did it do to values, to society? So how many people have been then dived into, out of their boredom, went into all the Tinder and the Bumblebee, and remind you what a hype it was in 2014, 15. Everyone were on all these sex dating sites, having affairs. There were there's still websites for literally married people that want to have affair, and they will open a profile and they will put their pictures and they will put their kinks on it and what they want to do. And I was like, how do you I don't know how you do that, but good luck. But even those who didn't do that, we saw how many marriages broke down, how many corporations broke down, how many institutions broke down, businesses broke down, partnership broke down. Everything that didn't have integrity. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that the participants were not in integrity. If you are someone that's, for example, you are in your integrity and you've done everything good to be in integrity, but something was kind of destroyed and broken out of your life, this could mean that on a soul level, it was not in integrity for your soul evolution, so the universe has racked it apart, so you will be free to go to where you needed to go in order to be in your true integrity path of your soul evolution. So that's what Pluto has been doing to all of us in Capricorn over the last 14 years. In Pluto in Capricorn gave power to our character. So 2008 until now, 2008, I remember Facebook only started to be a thing, and I was one of the first ones to go on Facebook and use it for business and create a business page and promoted myself, and all the social media came in, the Facebook and the Instagram and the Twitter and the LinkedIn, and suddenly every individual has a powerful tool to promote themselves. their industry, their occupation, their field of expertise, their identity in society, their character in society. That's what Pluto did to all of us in Capricorn. It gave us a big oomph of institutionalizing our business, our career, our personality and character. Yeah, shalom guys, shalom, my dear brother. Can you expand our knowledge about the third eye? Yeah. Well, you're not far from what's happening, brother guy, because there's a lot of higher chakras now. There's a lot of stuff going on in the higher chakras, because we're having Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. That's fully kind of third eye. The psychic, the intuition, the dream time, the spiritual. And now Pluto goes into Aquarius. Aquarius is the higher mind, it's the crown chakra. So we are now tuning into very higher octave of frequencies of like a lot of third eye, a lot of crown chakra, a lot of forces that are much bigger than us, beyond us, higher frequencies, higher vibrations coming from out of space, beyond time and space. That's Aquarius. Until now I've been talking about Capricorn, to understand what it has done for us in the last 14 years. So take what I just told you about looking at the last 14 years, what it did to your character, to your identity, to your professionalism, to your career, to your how you hold yourself in society. All this Pluto and Capricorn, I'm saying goodbye to a massive first chapter of my life in Australia. I came to Australia end of 2006. July 2007 I got married, and beginning of 2008, when Pluto kicks into Capricorn, I started my journey as a citizen in Australia. I knew citizenship, immigration, a bank account, ID, establishing my name in Australia. Nobody knew me, nobody knew what I was doing. I had to build myself from ground zero to what I am now. I've done bands and produced musical acts and concerts, and then the sound healing and the healing center. And I've built and created all that army in Australia. And in the last 2 years, as Pluto came to the end of it, it's all just been demolished. So I definitely feel that. And when Pluto goes into Aquarius now, it's a mixture of excitement and oh my freaking God. Because this had to be wrecked. And when I said that about integrity, because I was reflecting as well, I was thinking, I've done my work from integrity. I've always been in integrity. Why did this was broken down? Why did this? And I realized that it wasn't in integrity for me, because other forces were not in integrity without me knowing. And once everything started breaking apart, I realized that I was in integrity, but it wasn't integrate towards me. And so it had to be removed. And coming into this Pluto in Aquarius with this kind of emptiness, the death of the old Capricorn it happened, it is happening, it is going to continue to happen until the end of 2024. But we're getting 2 months of it now. We're getting a flavor, we're getting an injection, we're getting think that you're taking a microdose of Pluto in Aquarius for 2 months. So we're gonna get a hint, a flavor, things will happen, things will move a certain direction, and then there will be a pullback to kind of deal with the old world, to deal with what needs to still be destroyed and ended and wrapped around in order for us to go there. So until now we spoke Pluto Capricorn, and we also spoke about the fact that on top of this transition, it squares the moon nodes, which adds even more faith to it, even more destiny to it, like a very significant process that for each and every one of us, as the south node represent past lives. My headphones just clipped out. Past life, past traumas, pain in this lifetime. Just a second, I'm gonna fix my headphones. Pain traumas, fears that we have encountered in this lifetime in Scorpio, and it also represents past lifetimes, and Pluto represents that death, ending, destruction of the old in order to evolve beyond into the future. So it's kind of super powerful that it's happening with that south node in Scorpio ruled by Pluto, which means that Pluto is very powerful. And then what's on the other hand? On the other hand, Pluto is squaring Pluto is squaring the north node in Taurus, which is about our physical reality. It's about our quality of life, our values. What do we value? It's about our economy. It's about finance. It's about money. It's about our possessions. It's about family. It's about sexuality. It's about health. It's about gender. It's about sex. It's about how we live our life, how we gain our pleasures in life. It's about what we value. And so there is a massive transformation process here happening, that everything we thought we knew from the past, based on the past, is being demolished, and a whole new physical experience of life, Mother Earth, nature, food, diet, values, all that is being now initiated into a new form, rebirthed into a new form. And as Pluto is squaring them, Pluto is in Aquarius. Who rules Aquarius? Uranus. Where is Uranus? In Taurus. So now when Pluto comes into Aquarius tonight, it activates Uranus even more, because Pluto is the power. Pluto is the engine, and it comes and it just activates the house he's coming into, and then on a sub level it activates the planet that rule that house. So until now, Pluto was empowering Saturn, because Saturn rules Capricorn. And that's why the government had so much power in the last 3 years especially. So much power to the point that they took all our power away. So much control of power, of regulation, of institutions, of global corporations, you know what I'm talking about. It gave them immense power. And now Pluto goes into Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, which is the revolutionary, quirky, shocking, out of nowhere, the lightning strike, breaking free, higher frequency, the alien, beyond time and space, sudden change, shock, boom, bang. Enlightenment, transcendence, revelation, epiphanies, aha. And now Uranus is right here on your 4 o'clock on the chart, on the 16 degree 23 of Taurus. And so Uranus now is in the second part of Taurus. And Uranus entered Taurus in May 2018. And since Uranus entered Taurus 2018, we have massive shocking events in Mother Earth. Extreme weathers, earthquakes, volcanoes, changes in nature, changes in weather. We have a lot of solar activity, a lot of things in our solar system. We have the events in the finance, in economy. We had the shocking events in health and the experimentation in health with all the NA. So Uranus is this technological, innovative, high-tech, futuristic, and it's in Taurus, health, values, sexuality, gender. So now, Uranus in Taurus since 2018. How strong the narrative of the transgender, of the change in your sex, of the pronouns, he, she, they, them, it. All these things, like the concept of values, family values, relationship values, open relationship, hedonist, polygamist. People are so experimental with their sexual identity that they are lesbian and gay and transgender and bi and fluid all at the same time, because that's what they want to be called right now. Or, and then it plays with family values and sexuality, There's a lot of things here that are kind of like really shaking the ground. So now that Pluto goes into Aquarius, Uranus is getting like, I've got the Godfather behind me, and now I can just zap you to the ground. Until now I was kind of like, oops, I don't want Pluto in Capricorn to kind of give me a hard time, because the government doesn't allow me to zap people whenever I want. So here is a zap for you. Zap. No, nothing happened. No. Here's an earthquake. Like, oh, no. Here's a solar flare. Now Pluto comes in Aquarius, and Uranus goes like, all right, where is my lightning shotgun? So, what is Uranus? Uranium, nuclear energy. How much talks has been around nuclear energy, especially in the last year? Because of all the energy crisis, suddenly more countries are talking and generating and moving towards that nuclear energy. And there is a lot of nuclear talk even in warfare, right? We're talking Taurus. So Taurus is security, safety, the army, the security forces of nations, homeland, cultures. Everyone's want to protect their culture, their nation, their homeland, their safety and security of their people, and they're using this uranium energy. And now with Pluto goes into Aquarius, he's like, oh, whoa, can you please hold your finger off the red button? Thank you. So, that's one thing, but also because Aquarius is this futuristic, beyond time and space, radical, quirky, but Aquarius also represents the people and the world. So none of us know what we are expecting, and that's the weird part, that we have no idea what Pluto is gonna bring for us as it goes into Aquarius, because it's sudden shocking out of the blue, out of nowhere, beyond time and space. Suddenly that happens. We can assume certain hypothetical scenarios, like I can definitely tell you a few that are quite obvious. Aquarius rules high-tech, technology, internet, futuristic. We are definitely looking at an increasing presence in our life over the next 20 years of robotics. If it's a robot that will make your McDonald's. If you eat McDonald's, I don't touch McDonald's, but if you touch McDonald's, for example, there will be no more a 16 years old teenager walking in McDonald's. That's gonna be gone. There's gonna be a robot going patty, burger, ketchup, warehouses. You buy this thing online, on Amazon, on eBay or whatever. It goes to the computer, comes to the warehouse. The robot gets a transaction. Please go to row 6, shelf H, number box 23. Rolling, goes into the post delivery. Then comes the automated truck of Tesla. It has its whole GPS, everything is coordinated, and the truck goes like into the warehouse. In the warehouse there's another robot downloading from the truck all the boxes, or there will be a drone delivery of packages. You're looking at that kind of thing. Electric cars, flying cars at some stage, space travel. We will see humanity start exploring space travels in a more ordinary way than until now, which was only the astronaut, the qualified. I believe that as we go into the future, we will see more and more of it sneaking into the domestic level. So obviously at first it will start as entertainment, like you could probably fly up with a rocket of SpaceX of Elon Musk for $100,000 or something. You will fly up to space, you will see the Earth from beyond the atmosphere, and then you will land back an hour later and you had a great space experience. But then later on, as the years pass by, let's say 10, 15, 20 years from now, you will see also human beings start colonizing Mars, for example, or you could go to I'm talking about future now, yeah, not now, future. People will go on a retreat in Mars, the Divine Masculine Workshop in Mars. The thing is that you can't fully project it from where we are in the here and now, because you need to understand that as we are going into the future, we are looking at exponential growth, like boom, like that, because now that we have artificial intelligence, which is Aquarius, Pluto comes into Aquarius, and what did we had in the last month or two, the last couple of months, as Pluto was kind of approaching Aquarius? The Chat GPT, that artificial intelligence bot, that has took the world by a storm. There was like, at some stage, there was like 100 million users within the first 2 months. And now many more people using it. There's the Mid Journey, which is artificial intelligence for creating art by putting blurb in it. You can use the Chat GPT. You can write like, I want to create a business for this and this and that and that, and my problem is this and this and that and that, and you feed that into the Chat GPT, and it can give you a whole business plan. You can say, I'm studying biology and I have a degree and masters and testing this and that, and I need to write about the amoeba that can be found next to the volcano in the under ocean of Fiji. And that computer will write you a whole thesis about it. So we are looking at the fact that this artificial intelligence is superior than us in the capacity and the speed that it can digest data and purge data. Combine that with the development of robots, which are already being used in military kind of concept. If it's the drones, if it's the dogs kind of robots that can kind of be a killing machine in the battlefield. If it's all the, supersonic, what is supersonic? Frequency Uranus, Aquarius, supersonic missiles, supersonic speed. We're going to see a lot of that in the coming 20 years. And it's going to come into our life, like now that they're making sex dolls that basically look like human, feel like human. You can train them to tell you what you want them to tell you. You're going to see people dating artificial intelligence. You're going to see people dating robots. Life on internet, life is going to become more technological. The technology, the blockchain technology, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency. The future money is digital. It's no more paper. Gold and silver will have some role in it, but it's digital. It's absolutely digital. And that's why I'm such a believer in Bitcoin. Because I know that Bitcoin has the solution, it has the answers that humanity need, and it might take some time for full adoption, but it will happen. And it's all about adoption. So those are the things you can definitely look at in Aquarius. Robotics, artificial intelligence, internet, high tech. Let me just reset the Mauritania mantra to the beginning. There we go. Just pay attention to the chat room for a moment. Breathwork ceremony location, south of Mars. Uber space, Uber space, exactly. You're gonna be like, you're gonna fly. I'm taking. It's like, think like 20 years from now, people get married. Where are you going on your honeymoon? We're actually going on a honeymoon to the moon. And there will be a hotel on the moon called Honey Moon. So, all the Back to the Future kind of concept, I remember, I still to this day, when I walk on the beach, when I do the beach walk, and I see sometimes there are these people that kind of ride this device, it's kind of one wheel, and they stand on pedals on both of that wheel, and it's fully electronic, or they stand on a skateboard that is fully electronically controlled from their hand. So they have a controller in their hand. We have the scooters on energy, we have the bicycles on energy, but those things with the one wheel, they freak me out. It's like one wheel, they stand on both of its sides and it flies, and they have the control in their hand. And when I see them, where I go in my mind is when I was 10 years old, 11 years old in the 80s, late 80s, beginning of 90s, and I watched as a child Back to the Future. And in Back to the Future, there was a scene where there was the skateboard that was hovering. And I was thinking as a child, I was like, whoa, that's freaky. Or the TV in the street back then was like, wow, back then we had only those dinosaurs TV at home. And you were wealthy if you had a TV at home in the 80s, And I remember seeing the screens in the streets, and back in the late 80s, beginning of 90s, I was like, whoa, that's so cool. And here we are, we have screens in the streets, we have, electric scooters, electric wheels that fly, skateboards that are self-motorated, surfboards in the ocean that has a motor, motorcycle, I've seen motorcycle that has already been designed that is hovering, flying. We're gonna see. What I love in this is that Capricorn was holding humanity back from progress because those in power needed to control the evolution in order to have the financial control, in order to be on the winning hand. But now when Pluto goes to Aquarius, it goes from the institution, from the government, into the people, into the world, into the collective consciousness. And so I would like to believe that in a positive way, this will liberate independent geniuses, because Aquarius is that genius. Aquarius is that scientist, the mad scientist that came up with this genius invention, that Russian engineer that sits in his back garden and he's so passionate about engines and flight and this, that he designed and create a flying suits. But it's been suppressed because, that will take money from here and there. Or an engine that doesn't even need electric engine. It can go on water, or nitrogen, or hydrogen, or whatever, things that we don't even know, because that's the thing. We don't fully know what Pluto is bringing to us because Pluto goes into the future, and it's gonna bring some things that it will change forever the way we perceive, process, think about the world and about humanity. So the whole way we look at humanity, and Uranus in Taurus, the values, the family, the sex, the gender, the health, the whole way we look at that is going to change very significantly in ways that we don't fully understand yet. We don't know yet. Because that's the idea. It comes from the future, beyond time and space, and evolutionary leap jump suddenly, boom, raise a frequency higher. It's got to do with people, the way we look at humanity. Now, Aquarius is also intellectual. It's a fixed air sign. So it's intellectual, it's the higher mind. Mercury is the lower octave of Uranus. Uranus is the higher octave. So Mercury is the lower mind. I am thinking, I'm processing, I'm analyzing, I'm calculating. Uranus is I am perceiving, I am downloading, I am channeling, I am receiving some high frequency. Something came, an inspiration came out of nowhere, and suddenly I know how to do that. It's like Neo plugged into the Matrix and goes like, I know Kung Fu. You suddenly have a download. So humanity is about to get a download. What's been brewing in the background over the last few weeks, I spoke about last love stream, that the Pentagon announced that there is a mothership in our solar system. So, Aquarius being the alien beyond time and space, I will definitely put my money, and I've been saying it for a while now, that an extraterrestrial encounter is very near. An alien encounter is near. We will definitely face situation sometime in the near future that will change our perception of mankind. It will change our perception of planet Earth, our origin as humanity. Because it's nice talking about it, but I'm trying to make you to emphasize on how it feel. Think that in the middle of daylight you'll have mothership in the clear sky and everyone will see it. It's not gonna be like a, did you see that? Oh wow, that was interesting. No, it's gonna be there. And there's gonna be an encounter. There's gonna be an experience for humanity. And once that happens, a presence from out of space that is not from this planet, that ultimately, organically, immediately changes the way we perceive life on Earth, who we are as human beings, where we come from, what is our origin, who are they, who are we, planet Earth. In that encounter, what will be the exchange? What will be the knowledge that we will gain from it? What will be the tools we will gain from it? What if, in a positive aspect, if there is a positive encounter, what if we are suddenly, remembering, receiving a download, like suddenly there is a remembering of abilities we forgot we had as beings, of gifts, of psyche. Because remember, again, now we have like very big, powerful planets in the last star sign of the zodiac. Pluto in Aquarius, Saturn and Neptune in Pisces. So Saturn is now completely like, remember I told you Saturn was in his full power and control. And then when Saturn moved to Pisces, it was kind of like, okay, I'm going on a cruise in the ocean. I'm going to try to discover a new land that I can rule that land as well. Just a second. So Saturn went on his boat and he sailed in the ocean. Now Pluto goes out of Aquarius, home of Saturn, out of Capricorn, home of Saturn, into Aquarius. And suddenly the engine of the boat of Saturn has stopped working. Now Saturn is in the complete mercy of the oceans. So Saturn has now moved from being full house, full in control, into being a very passive passenger. In the shadow of this means that our ability to have a solid structure, discipline, show up, maturity, grow up, do the hard work, that's a bit weaker now. It's in Pisces, it's a bit looser. So if you experience a bit of kind of difficulty in being disciplined or in the structure of your life or responsible or your due diligence or the things you had to do, your tasks, suddenly they became a bit kind of more like flowy, a bit kind of more like loose. That's Saturn in Pisces. I don't know what about you, but sleeping patterns have changed. Pisces is our dream time, and Saturn goes into Pisces. It's kind of like, oh my God, so it's working on the restructuring of our dream time, of our sleep time, and it's kind of like, whoa, we need to create some order here, because so we can have like the right discipline with spirit, like with our rest time and active time, we need to have more balance. So what will happen tonight, tomorrow, Saturday? We are dealing with the final end of the week of the financial markets, the stock markets. It will be very interesting to see. Yeah, Simon, your sleeping patterns. Yeah, me too. I used to have a structure when I go to sleep, and it's like, no. And I'm just like, I'm not fighting it. I'm just allowing it, while kind of slowly working on that. So whenever Pluto moves into a new star sign, the signature is very significant. So something is about to happen. And Pluto is kind of this, things implode. Things just go like, poof. Pluto it rules Scorpio, right? It's that orgasm. What happens when you have an orgasm? Why people get addicted to an orgasm? Because when comes the climax of the orgasm, there is that explosion, there is that implosion, there is that poof. And in that moment, there is that transcendence beyond time and space. For some people, it's lasting more than a moment. Some people can stay there for minutes, for half an hour, if they allow it. For most people, it's this instant momentary experience of like nothingness. You are in the act, you have done it, you've done the whole journey, you have done whatever you need to do. We don't need to go into too many details here, but you know what I'm talking about. And then you come to that explosion, that poof. That's Pluto. Pluto is that dying grandfather in hospital. He's dying and you are preparing yourself. As I did this week, I was connecting with him, I was sending him blessings, I was sending angels his way, lighting the candles and doing my rituals, preparing for his passage. And when the passage came, poof, there was that crack open heart, tears, cry, emotion flowing of the grief that is experienced. Giving birth. You made love, you got pregnant. Fantastic. Pluto's done the first step for you. He planted the seed and the seed empowered the egg and there is a life form growing. That was first Pluto. 9 months later comes the birth. Now the birth is a process. You have labor, your water break, then you're waiting for the expansion of your, you know what, 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4 finger. The waves are coming stronger. You're going through the labor. It's building up pressure, building up tension, taking you to areas that you never thought you could navigate through. Yeah, you don't know even what's going on with you. Life force take over your bodies. Mother Nature takes over your body. It runs this birth experience through you. It's bigger than you. Get out of the way. What they tell you is just breathe, 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 breathe. Now push, now breathe. Now push, now breathe. But that's all you can do. But the rest of the process, with all the pains, with all the sensation, it's beyond you. It's bigger than you. And then comes the moment of poof, the baby comes out. And zoom, all that labor, all that pressures, all that thing suddenly boom. That's Pluto going to a new star sign. Boom. It's that mic drop. It's that something happens. Now, is something big, significant going to happen today, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, all this time? Because remember, Pluto is gonna sit on this 0 degree. It's not going anywhere. So this initiation, even though it's going into Aquarius, into the 0 degree, is not in full speed. It's actually slowing down. So it goes into 0 and it's cruising, slowing, standing, retrograding. It's kind of like this, it's like watching a bomb drops on slow motion. Now you watch it, you know it's falling down, you know it's gonna explode. And you watch it, you can't do anything. You can only watch it fall down, about to explode. You can't control that. What can you do? You can prepare yourself. You can go into the bunker, you can find a shelter, you can listen to the updates, what to do, you can drive your car further away, It's like people in Japan when the tsunami happened, they could not do anything about the tsunami. They could only do the best they can. Some climbed the roof, some, just kind of like drove as fast as they can. The earthquake in New Zealand some time ago, a month ago. People couldn't do anything about that. We're bigger than you. So What is that bomb dropping? You're watching it drop, and I'm telling you this for the last 5 years. You're watching the banking system. You're watching it. It's happening. It's only a matter of time. Don't delusion yourself. They might fix it for a while, they might do this, they might do that, they might do this, they might do that, but at the ultimate end of this saga, it's going. It doesn't belong to the future. Where we're going in the future is a complete different picture. So in the meantime, what can you do is or fix all your ducks in a row. Just do your best ability and know that there will still be things you will not be able to prepare. Like, even if you don't know what to prepare to, is like just focus on what you can do in the day by day and just do your best. But this is a lot of Saturn and Neptune in Pisces is kind of like reminding us that there is acts of surrender. They bring in this discipline of connect with spirit and find your understanding in spirit, in the idea that there is a divine plan unfolding here, that it's in divine order, that everything unfolds here, and it's much bigger than you and your lifetime. This is beyond our lifetime. This is what we are living through in our life. It's about humanity for the next hundreds of years forward. I'm saying the last time Pluto entered Aquarius was 1777. Back then, people murdered, cut throats of rich people that had slaves in France. What is happening in France right now? Revolution. Fires in the street. The people are revolting against Macron. Because Macron decided that he's going to be a dictator. The people of France told him, you want to be a dictator? We're going to show you how many baguettes we got in our closet. And some baguettes are very hard. They dry. Thank you, Stephen, brother. I love you, man. And so you see, and what do you see in America? It's another, there's this, the Trump and the Biden, the Democrats and the Republicans, it's all kind of brewing. Now, interesting enough that when Mars was on 0 degree Aquarius was when Trump was chosen as president. And now Pluto comes to 0 degree Aquarius, and Trump is basically, they want to indict him and they want to imprison and put him in prison. I'm not going to politics, not my thing, but I'm just saying it's very interesting to see what's happening in America and what's happening in France that is very similar to what happened in France and America when Pluto went into 0 degree Aquarius in 1777. Very similar in its flavor. So yeah, very interesting, and it's a big shift, family. It's a very big shift. So I just want all of you to know, we don't exactly know what to expect. We don't exactly know what's going on. We don't exactly know what's happening in our personal life, inside of us, in the world. And if you'll go there, you will find yourself spiraling in anxiety. Uranus rules the nervous system. It's in Taurus, your physical well-being. Pluto comes to Aquarius and triggers the nervous system, so the whole nervous system is receiving a lot of activation. There is also a lot of solar flares happening at the moment. That affects our energy as well. So there's a lot coming at us. And when you look at the other side of the astrology, I'm trying to navigate where to go to next because there's a lot. Okay, let's go first to Mars. Look at Mars at your 3 o'clock. Mars is on the 29th degree, 3 minutes of Gemini. That's it. Mars is finally ending his journey in Gemini. But when Mars comes into this ended degree of Gemini, it's edgy as duck. It can spit fire in any moments. It can kind of like just speak his mind because he had enough holding it back, and it's just like pa, 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 pa. Mars is fire. Mars is kind of like, he's been in Gemini since August. He's been trying to figure it out and trying to make realizations, ideas, concepts, personal environment changes. He's been retrograding there. It's been his shadow And it's kind of now end of March, and finally Mars is about to get out of Gemini. So it's coming to the end of Gemini, and it's getting very edgy. It's kind of like, I need to make a decision, I need to understand where I'm going, I need to make that happen, I need to make that happen. You piss me off, so that's what I think about you. It can become very agitated. And when Pluto goes into Aquarius, it now activates our relationships and connections with other people, with the world. And Aquarius rules the internet. It's very easy to be a keyboard warrior, to sit and it's like, you know what, that's what I think about you. I had enough of you all the time posting all these things, presenting yourself to be da 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 da. I think that you are just blah 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 blah. Send. And then what happens? Boom, 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 boom. Suddenly you're being bullied by bots, by things online, social media, people condemning you, people judging you, people putting you down because you, and then it becomes like, oh, it's like, no thanks. No thanks. Instead of that, I'm just gonna go and connect. This is kind of like Mars coming to the end of Gemini with Pluto coming into Aquarius, reminding you Gemini, Mercury, lower mind, Uranus, Aquarius, higher mind. And until now, Mercury is in Aries, which is ruled by Mars. So Mercury is in Mars' home, and Mars is in Mercury's home. And so there's a lot of Aries energy. If you look at the bottom of the chart, Sun, 2nd degree Aries, Mercury, 8th degree Aries, Chiron, 15 degree Aries, Jupiter, 17 degree Aries, the Moon right now, this is 11:23 p.m., so this is an hour and a half from now. An hour and a half from now, the Moon, 26, so we have the Sun, Mercury, Chiron, Jupiter, and the Moon all in Aries. It's all fire, 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 me, 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 me. What's going on with me? Where am I going? So Sun, my soul expression, I need my ego, I want to get my ego, I need to get my shit together, I need to do this, I want to do that, I want to find my fire, I want to find my confidence, I want to find my motivation, I want to penetrate, I desire this, I want that. You become this drive to do and to be and to achieve and to penetrate and to actualize. Mercury is in Aries, also very jumpy, very kind of like, this is what I think, that's what I'm gonna say, this is what I'm saying, this is what I'm thinking, I've decided that, I'm going for that, no, you know what, I told you this, oops, maybe I shouldn't have said that, that was a bit heated in the moment. Everyone's a bit jumpy, everyone's a bit kind of like on edge. Why? Because freaking Pluto is about to go into Aquarius and we don't know what's going to bring, so everyone's feeling it and they don't even know they're feeling it. Only those who follow astrology understand how big this is, but in the collective there's a massive shift here, and everyone's sensing there's something impending. There's some really big Aquarius, global, world, planetary, humanity, big shifts are about to unfold, and I don't know what the fuck am I doing about it. And that's all the Aries party. And so until now we had Venus pass through Chiron and Jupiter 2 weeks ago. Now, then Jupiter passed through Chiron. Now Jupiter is still coming off Chiron. Jupiter 17 degree, Chiron 15 degree, 2 degrees. They're still together, but Jupiter is breaking apart from it. Jupiter is that higher knowledge, philosophy, understanding, getting the rewards and the kind of the blessings of what is this Chiron in Aries all about. Chiron in Aries, the wound about the sense of self, our insecurity, where our sense of self got wounded, got injured with shame, with blame, with guilt, with someone that put us down at some point in the past, a negative thoughts we have about ourselves, a negative feeling we have about ourselves, self-image, impotency, lack of ability, incapability, insecurity. That's all the Chiron in Aries. So Venus passed through that 2 weeks ago to kind of really bring it home into our relationships, into our love, into our embodiment, into our physical reality, sexuality, into our values, to see what is wounding us, what is hurting us, what needs healing. It met with Jupiter, so it can be really wise and really knowledgeable and really kind of like educational and rewarding. Now Venus is in Taurus, she is home, we'll talk about her in a moment. Jupiter past Chiron. Now comes the moment this week, as this shift happens, that Mercury is now in Aries, and he is all fired up to make conclusions, to make realizations, to make decisions, to just get a new mindset, get a direction, an initiative, do that in a very fiery way, abrupt way. And then it comes to Chiron. I need to understand what the fuck is the problem with that wound. Why am I hurting myself? Why am I disqualifying myself? Why am I wounding myself? Why am I weakening myself? What is the change that I need to make in my own mind, in my own perception, in the way I speak, in the way I communicate about my wounding? Because I want to heal this. I want to heal this. But it comes through an experience of the wounding. That wounding comes to our intellectual perception. It comes through conversation. How it comes through conversation? Bloody Pluto moved to Aquarius. Where the challenges are gonna come from? Other people, humanity, the world. So that's, and then once Mercury will pass Chiron, then the Sun will come on top of Chiron. So all the personal stuff is coming through Chiron. So while Pluto goes into Aquarius to initiate this new future, we are having all the personal stuff coming on top of Chiron. First Venus, the feminine side, then the Moon, then Jupiter, now Mercury, then the Sun, and it all kind of touching base with that wound, old deep wound. It's all touching base with that. While Mars is ending his 8 months in Gemini, moving into Cancer tonight. Okay? That's why you lock in the door and stay at home. But that's the funniest thing, that Pluto in Aquarius, bugging out is not the solution. Okay, the world is gonna get fucked. I'm bugging out. I'm taking my campervan and I'm going to whoop whoop. No, it's not gonna be the answer, because it's like, what are you gonna learn from that? The power of evolution will be through interaction with the world, through interaction with people. You know, you isolate yourself from it doesn't mean you're gonna save yourself from it. It's more like, as you encounter it, see what it shows you about your inner wounding that you need to attend to, so that you could evolve, transform, break through. So Mars is at the end of Gemini tonight, and by tomorrow morning Mars is in Cancer. So in March we had Saturn into Pisces, Mercury into Aries, Venus into Taurus, now Pluto into Aquarius, and now Mars will go into Cancer. That's 6 planets changing signs in 1 month. That's nuts. So another song for when Aquarius kind of kicks into Uranus is this one. Have a listen to that. Let's see. Pluto into Aquarius. There you go.
I'm gonna send into outer space, find another race. I'm gonna send into outer space, find another race.
That's the thing. That's what Pluto does, you know. Out of space to find another race, you know. We're gonna have a lot of that coming up for us. We're gonna have a lot. So, you know, Pluto into Aquarius. Power to the people. Power to the unique. Power to the quirky. Power to the kinky. Power to the out of the box. Power to the maverick. Power to the genius. Power to the revolutionary. Power to the... So it's gonna be interesting, because we're gonna have this humanity goes into this place of uniqueness. Every individual is going to be empowered in his own and her own uniqueness, her own quirkiness, and it's going to be a big kind of challenge for humanity values as Uranus is in Taurus. So as Pluto doing the work in Aquarius, Uranus is in Taurus, really disrupting the values of, what is safety, what is security, what is money, what is value, what is sexuality, what is right, what is wrong. And maybe something that was wrong suddenly becomes right, and something that was right suddenly becomes wrong. And something you thought you'll never really appreciate, suddenly you learn to appreciate. And something you never really appreciated, you did appreciate a lot, suddenly becomes unappreciated. So, yeah, that's another thing, that Mars and Pluto are both ruling of Scorpio. So it's very interesting that they're both changing signs, and Mars is going out of Gemini, and when Mars goes into Cancer, which is going to be exactly at, let's take us there, that's another day, let's move another day. Okay, so Mars will go into Cancer on Saturday at 11 at night time of Saturday. The exact time will be there we go, on your 3 o'clock. Mars 0 degree 0 minute Cancer, 25th of March. We finally made it. We made it through a very confusing efforts to identify, to personalize, to create changes in our local environments, in our connections, in our communication, in our thought. This Mars in Gemini, 25th of March. Let's go. I'm going to take you months back to July. Yeah. 25th of July. I'm sorry, 25th. There we go. Mars entered Gemini. Exactly. There we go. On your 6 o'clock. Mars entered Gemini on your 6 o'clock on the 20th of August. August until September, October, November, December, January, February, March. 7 months. 7 months, usually Mars spend 2 months in a star sign. It's gonna be around a month in Cancer, just to give you the comparison. Like 7 months in Gemini, 1 month in Cancer. It's gonna go like So, from the 20th of August, we were all processing Mars in Gemini. Think about what was going on since August for you in the archetype of your ego masculine, identifying your local environment, contracts, agreements, business, your trades, your dealings, your car, your home, your location, your transportation, your internet, your computer, your mobile phone, your network. What kind of changes did you go through since August? I know exactly what it was for me. Bloody hell, that was intense that time. So going back to now, this is now, and now on Saturday, Mars is finally gonna exit. So 2 days from now. 2 days from now, on your 3 o'clock, there you go. Mars 0 degree Cancer. And now this is reminding you, we spoke about Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, we can talk about a lot more, of course. Pluto is now in Aquarius, spoke about that a lot. And now there's the journey here in Aries, where Mercury is closing down on Chiron. This is by Saturday. Mercury is 12 degrees, Chiron 15 degrees. Okay? So by Saturday, Mercury is really coming into Chiron, and here we have the Taurus party, the North Node, Juno, Venus, Uranus, and the Moon. And the Moon in Taurus is stabilizing us. It's kind of like bringing it down, but the thing is, like, Pluto goes to Aquarius tonight. Something is happening, something is going to happen, and then Mars at the end of Gemini is kind of like go like, oh my god, I need to understand what to do. And then Mars goes into Cancer, and Cancer is water. Cancer is the home of the moon. Cancer is the feminine. And Mars doesn't like to be in Cancer so much. So I think that Mars goes to Cancer is that you put the hot water rod in the water and you boil the water. The water of Cancer are now gonna get some heating going on. It's gonna become a jacuzzi, a spa. It's like a heated pool. It's no longer a freezing cold pool, it's becoming a heated pool. And so Mars is now gonna kind of heat up the emotions, the things around emotional security. And so as the world is gonna go through events and changes that are big, and we have all the Aries going like everyone in their ego mind thinking they know better what to say, they know what to do, Pluto in Aquarius triggers from the world, triggers from other people. Comes Mercury into Cancer and saying, it's like, oh my god, I don't know, I'm a bit scared, or I'm a bit insecure, I don't know, I'm feeling safe, emotional insecurity. Cancer wants to feel home, it wants to feel loved, nurtured, connected, stable at home with her kids and her puppy and her doggy and her cat, and just sitting cuddling next to the fireplace and watching a movie and having a nice chocolate and feeling safe, nurtured and secure. But the world is going weird. So suddenly Mars goes into Cancer and is like, we need to take action for our emotional well-being. We need to take action for our emotional security, because now we have a lot of frequencies playing with us. Now we have Pluto in Aquarius, a lot of high vibe frequencies, crown chakra, bzzz, nervous system activity, bzzz. Uranus in Taurus activated even more, like nervous system, oh my god, things are changing in physical reality, oh my god, what do you say, oh my god, the world is going this, oh my god, what does that mean, oh. Information, intellectual, Aquarius is intellectual, higher intellect. So Aquarius is science and higher intellect. It's kind of like, oh, the facts are this and the facts are that, and suddenly all these things stirs the pot. And at the same time Mars goes into Cancer, which will mean that we now need not to allow our emotional insecurities to make us act in a fiery way, because we have a lot of Aries, Sun, Mercury, Chiron, Jupiter. There's a lot going on in Aries, very touching, close to the wound. So it's very easy to get itchy, it's very easy to get frustrated, it's very easy to get upset, it's very easy to kind of have your wound touched. And Mars comes into Cancer, and you can, because you're feeling a bit insecure emotionally, you suddenly kind of act upon that and you get really angry, or you attack someone because you're feeling insecure. No. Mars comes into Cancer and says, baby girl, baby boy, what actions can you take for your emotional security? Which people, Pluto and Aquarius, which people you need to cut out? Which streams of information you need to cut out? Regulate yourself. What helps you? Helps you to be in a bath? Do that. Helps you to do meditation? Let's do that. What do you need? You need a healing session? Let's go to see a healer. Do that. This Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Taurus, a lot of healing can be achieved through frequency, vibration, energy. So energy healing, sound healing, acupuncture, meridian walk, everything that can help kind of channel the energy through the energy channels, through the meridians, frequencies. Spectrum of light, spectrum of sound, with Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, healing through water, flotation tank, bath, drinking a lot of water, to make sure that the body is well hydrated, that the current of electricity can run through us and ground into the earth. It is also helping us, it's stabilizing us. It's kind of like, okay, you may feel like insecure, but let's take action in order to achieve that emotional security, and let's connect with our beloveds. Venus is in Taurus. Let's connect with our beloveds. Let's have lunch together. Let's have dinner together. Let's sit on the couch and watch a movie. Let's listen to some music. Let's go out to nature. Let's ground ourselves, some quality time with beloveds, simple pleasures of life. But then what's cooking in the background is that Venus, on the 10 degrees of Taurus, that's on Saturday, is marching towards Uranus in Taurus. We're going to have Venus conjunct Uranus. So there's a lot of edgy energy cooking, and there's a lot of big shifts. That Mars goes into Cancer, and now it goes from the intellectual Gemini into the heart. We've done a lot of thinking, processing. Now we need to take action for our emotional well-being. Now we need to make sure that we can establish emotional security inside. We can nurture ourselves. We can take action that will feed our need to feel loved, nurtured, safe, secure. Take action of loving mothers, Cancer, to our beloveds. Nurture each other. We can see our children, they might go through a freak out, they might go through some nervous system activity, some anxiety, some panic for whatever reasons. We need to be those mothers. If you're a father or a mother, I'm talking about an archetype of the nurturing, loving, feminine mothering, of calming and reassuring, not with intellectual of Gemini or Mercury in Aries. I know how to fix your problem. Mercury comes to Chiron in Aries, and everyone will think that they know what they need to do for the other person to fix their problem. Some will be legit, some will be egos. While Mercury with Chiron in Aries, like, you know your medicine. You know what healing you need. You know how to heal your shit. You know what you need to heal. So now with Mars in Cancer, take loving, nurturing action for your well-being so you can heal. Heal. It's time to move to a future. Pluto in Aquarius, it's a whole new volume of a whole new future evolution. The world we knew until 2020 is never coming back again. I said it back then and I'll say it now again. It's never coming back. The reality we used to know is never coming back. Until now we were witnessing the breakdown, the dysfunction. Now comes the meltdown, the implosion. Things will just implode. And then the future initiated. Revolutionary. Humanity of the future is more about uniqueness, freedom, liberation, decentralization. It's about robotics, futuristic, electronics, technological, and maybe the technological advancement which will come into our life over the next few years, 20 years, that's going to be part of what will change our way of what we thought life should be. How we thought life should be, what we thought planet Earth should be, or human beings should be. Very soon I believe that probably will invent things that can take a sample of your DNA and with a 3D printer just print the liver that is perfectly for your DNA, and we'll see, like, you know, people getting livers and hearts and lungs and spines and legs and things and organs being printed by DNA that will taken from here and there. And there's also a lot of benefits here. Medical breakthroughs, technological innovation in the medical system, in the health system, anti-aging. This could mean that people will live longer because of technological solutions. Treatments for diseases and illnesses that were basically terminal in the past, that suddenly now will receive new forms of medications, of therapies through frequencies, through sound, through light, through technology. This means also altered state of mind will be able to achieve through technological solution, like, all the virtual reality, all those things. In the Matrix, when they come to Neo, what does he sell them? He sells them these little CDs with a trip. Like, you put it in your computer and you go like on a full-on like trip. That was what were given to the people back then in the Matrix. So there's a lot of good stuff here too. Don't just look at it as the bad thing. Look at the good things as well. There's going to be a lot of innovations. I want to see flying cars in my time in life. Think that, take your age now, and I'm now turning 42 in April. So Pluto is gonna be in Aquarius for until I'm 62. And that's a decent slice of life. So I'm gonna grow old into the world with Pluto in Aquarius. I'm gonna see the world moves into the future with Pluto in Aquarius, and and then Pluto will go into Pisces when I will be in my 60s. Symbolic. So there's a lot going on here. So that's Mars shifting into Cancer. We will need to take action for our home, for our family. People will feel more like protective over their family, protective over their home, protective over, there's like what's safe for them, what's nurturing for them. And that also means countries, nations, People will move from a place of emotional insecurity, more defensive, more protective. Because more and more people will start sensing that something is cooking. So yeah, it's very interesting that Pluto goes into Aquarius, squaring the moon nodes, activating Uranus in Taurus. The moon will pass through all of that. This we should pay attention this weekend, as Mars is pay attention this weekend, okay? From now, look, I'll take it back to now. Here is Mars on your 29th degree of Gemini, and here is your Friday, taking it one day forward. This is Friday night. Mars 29 degree 30 minutes of Gemini. Here is Saturday night, Mars 29:59. In this time Pluto shifted to Aquarius. Things are really different, things are weird, the new frequencies coming in. There's a lot of Aries, there's a lot of fire, there's a lot of ego, there's a lot of kind of everyone wants to get somewhere, to do something, to understand something. And with Mars in the end of Gemini, very edgy. So Pluto goes to Aquarius. Be careful not to get into unnecessary conflicts with other people, arguments. Bite your tongue before you speak. Think before you speak. Take a step back, really reflect. What do you really want to say? Do you have to say it? What do you want to do? Just be aware of that. And just prior to the, go a few hours back, prior to Mars goes into so while this weekend unfold, the moon travels through Taurus on your 9 o'clock, and the moon will be exactly on Uranus on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, which we will be in one of the main soccer tournaments of Australia with Mali. So I'm kind of like, oh my god, highly competitive soccer tournament, oh my god. You bring all the soccer teams from all the suburbs, all the clubs of Victoria into one field and put them together as gladiators, exactly when Mars is at the end of Gemini and the moon is with Uranus, and there's a lot of nervous energy, there's a lot of jumpy energy, there's a lot of zappy energy here. And so we have to be very meditative this weekend. We have to really practice the meditator, really practice the bigger person. Just hold yourself. You might be challenged. Hold yourself. Don't just have that conscious mind of going like, okay, I know what this is about. Be the wiser man, be the wiser person, realize what's happening here in the big picture. There's a lot of nervous system activity, there's a lot of edginess. Everything was at the end, and now everything is at the beginning. Saturn was at the end of Aquarius. Pluto was at the end of Capricorn. Mercury was at the end of Pisces. Sun was at the end of Pisces, together with Neptune. Venus was at the end of Aries. Okay? Now, Venus moved into Taurus. She's already 9 degree by Saturday. Mercury moved into Aries, already 11 degree. Sun moved into Aries, 4 degree. Saturn, 1st degree. Pluto, 0 degree. Now Mars goes from n degree to 1st degree. So everything moved from, so this is the moon Uranus, Saturday, 10:50 a.m. Okay, Saturday morning, 10:50 a.m. And then, Mars goes into Cancer, and now everything is new. So we all face like things are ending, things coming to an end crescendo, and now suddenly everything is new. There's a new Mars in Cancer, there's a new Saturn in Pisces, there's a new Pluto in Aquarius. How am I supposed to dance to this music, right? So it's like, okay, let's just pull something surprising out of the box. Let's see what will come up. Okay, let's just pull this brother. Let's see what he's saying. Okay. There's suddenly a new tune. Wait a second. How do we dance to this? Not this one. Sorry. Where is he? There you are. This is beautiful, brother. I just wanted to bring that in just to kind of give you a bit of an experience of like, okay, so what does that mean? It was like, there's a whole new tune and we need to get used to it. We need to adjust to it. We need to understand how to dance to it. Saturn in Pisces, the structure is loose, it's more fluid, it's more kind of dreamy. It's a bit harder to be disciplined, it's a bit harder to have a structure, it's a bit harder to be responsible, it's a bit more loose. On the other hand, we need to be more responsible spiritually, to do things in sacredness in order to connect with spirit and to tune into that. And then Pluto comes to Aquarius, so now we're talking again. We've got Sun, Mercury, Chiron, Jupiter in Aries. Solar plexus, poof. Solar plexus very active. Everyone's trying to figure out who they are and what they're going to do about it. Then we've got the Taurus party. The North Node, Juno, Venus, Uranus, Moon. Base chakra, boom. Where's my pleasures? Where's my fun? Where is my sex? Where is my love? Where is my money? Where is my safety? Where is my security? Venus and Juno and the North Node. It's about my future destiny. I need to find where the relationship I want to have around me. I need to find how I'm getting pleasures, what I value now, how do I look at love now, how do I look at sex now, how do I look at money now, how do I look at investment now. And it's all coming to Uranus, which is kind of this kind of unexpected shocking change, zap, revolution. It's like a bit apprehensive. So base chakra is a bit kind of like adjusting to this new thing that is happening here. While we have Saturn and Neptune in Pisces, the third eye chakra is kind of like, whoa, there's a portal opening up here. And then Pluto goes into Aquarius and the crown chakra is like, boom. And we suddenly now receiving this new high frequency from a higher dimension beyond time and space down into our physical reality, and it's coming in. And we need to learn how to integrate it. We need to learn how to operate with it. We need to learn how to dance to it. So, and then Mars in Cancer is the heart. It's like, take action for your heart. Find your security. Find your comfort. This is from now into the weekend. You know, it's quite intense. So if I take it now to Sunday, then the same thing what's happening is Uranus here, 16 degrees, is also doing a sextile to Neptune. So at the same time Pluto goes to Aquarius, which is the home of Uranus, and squaring the moon nodes, which is squaring the node in Taurus where Uranus is. So all this Taurus, Uranus, Scorpio is getting a big zap. Now, if you have planets now that Pluto goes into Aquarius, if you have planets in Leo in your birth chart, then your Leo planets will be opposed by Pluto. And if you have planets in your birth chart which are Taurus or Scorpio, they're gonna be start squared now by Pluto. Depends where they are for the next 20 years. So for example, for me personally, my Mars is on 0° Taurus. So now Pluto is gonna be squaring my Mars as it's squaring the nodes, while the nodes come into my Mars, and I'm going to like cowabunga, baby. I'm just kind of like, all right, what's another ride? Let's go, baby. So part of it is like, don't freak out of the unknown. Pluto is the unknown. It's a Shambhala, and it's now going into this future. So don't freak out and don't overwhelm your system about where the world is going and about how it's going to unfold and how it's going to be. The journey of life is going to take us there, day by day. We just need to make sure we take care of our... Look, Aries, take care of yourself. Your mind, Mercury, with the Sun, and coming to Chiron. Take care of yourself, that you're not wounding yourself, but you are healing yourself. Okay? Just focus on your personal process. And then Mars goes into Cancer. Take action for your emotional well-being. Take action for your emotional security. And then with all the Taurus party, you know, it's building up. This is Sunday. And now Sunday, look, Mars 0° Cancer aligns with Pluto 0° Aquarius. They aligns with the moon nodes. And now Mercury 14° on Chiron, and Mercury is moving fast, and that's the next thing that is happening, and it's happening on Monday, early morning of Monday, Mercury conjunct Chiron. So now Pluto into Aquarius, Mars into Cancer, and then Mercury comes on top of Chiron to understand what is this wound about, what needs to be done in order to heal. And in the background, as Mercury closed on Chiron, there is a realization here. There's a configuration, something clicks in, because also remember, Pluto Aquarius, there's something comes from beyond time and space, something from the future. A high frequency comes from the future directly into Shambhala, into the underworld, as you are dealing with the axis, the node's axis of faith and destiny, and it's squaring that. So we are all in this universal cosmic washing machine that is gonna purge us at one point at the other end, but we are in this making. And so Mercury on top of Chiron on Monday early morning 5:50, and then a day after Mercury comes into Jupiter exactly on there you go, Tuesday 5:50 p.m. So 36 hours after Mercury will meet Chiron, Monday early morning. Then comes Tuesday 5:50 p.m. and Mercury will meet Jupiter. And then suddenly we are learning something. There is some wisdom that we are gaining. Remember I told you the healing crisis of Jupiter comes into Chiron of all February into March. I told you, pay attention. Jupiter comes into Chiron. There is a healing crisis that will result in great understanding, and rewards of healing keys will be unlocked. And so come now Mercury to do all that intellectual connecting the dots. As suddenly Pluto in Aquarius, it's a whole new frequency, it's a whole new future. And Saturn is now in Pisces, which is kind of more like there's spirit is involved, divine order is involved, there's kind of dream time, there's mystical experiences. Now, as Mercury comes on top of Jupiter here, 5:50 p.m. on Tuesday, Venus is only 3 degrees away from Uranus, so we can start feeling that. So it's all connected, that as the mind of Mercury is doing that process with Chiron and Jupiter, Mars is taking the action in Cancer to stabilize our emotional well-being, as Pluto is in a whole different territory, Saturn is in a whole different territory, and now comes Venus to Uranus to get that exciting breakthrough, unexpected sudden surprise, shocking events that just zap you in a positive or negative, right? This could be, meeting someone new or breaking up with someone old. This could mean losing big sum of money because making the wrong decisions that you shouldn't have done, or suddenly making a jackpot. This could be a day that Bitcoin suddenly pumps, towards the end of March. Suddenly Bitcoin kind of pumps with Venus and Uranus kind of conjunct. I don't know, I'm just saying. But with Pluto into Aquarius, we don't know what to expect. I've heard one person describe it as Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. Pluto entering Aquarius is that Humpty Dumpty falling off the wall. The character, the identity, the personality, what you thought you were, how you thought the world, suddenly it's kind of, you have a fall and you kind of, something new is revealed. So may we all fall with grace and be cuddled by the angels as we fall if we need to fall. So then Wednesday comes, and on Wednesday we're going to have the moon square the sun, the first quarter sun, and the first quarter moon will happen, where is the sun? 08, there you go, another hour back, 08:48, another hour back, there we go. Wednesday afternoon we have the first quarter square of the moon, 8 degrees of Cancer, with the sun in Aries while Mars is in Cancer. So we might process the initiation of the new moon we just had this Tuesday. It comes to a checkpoint. Now pay attention, this is important. This new moon in Aries we just had is 1 out of 2. We're going to have a second new moon in Aries right at the end degrees of Aries, and it's going to be a solar eclipse. So we are now in the final lunar cycle of the existing eclipse season. The eclipses that started in November, we are now in the final month of that 6 months chapter, and once we get to the end of Aries, which is around the 15th of April, we have a new moon in Aries solar eclipse, because it's right at the end of Aries and the nodes are right at the beginning of Taurus, so it's kind of giving us the flavor of the coming axis of the next shift of the nodes. So it's going to be very eventful, very impactful March as we're going forward. But yeah, this is Wednesday. And by the time I see you next time, Thursday, here is your Thursday. By the time we'll meet in the same way we are meeting today, as Pluto is about to go to Aquarius literally an hour from now. This is the last hour of Pluto in Capricorn. Take this hour to reflect on your 2008 until now. And in an hour from now, Pluto goes into Capricorn, into Aquarius. So a week from now we will meet, and that will be exactly the night of Venus coming into a Uranus conjunction. We will talk about that next week. Mercury will pass so all this week is pay attention. Tonight Pluto into Aquarius. Saturday Mars goes into Cancer. And then in the background, Mercury travels, passing Chiron, passing Jupiter, and as Venus closing in on Uranus. Those are the main things of this week to pay attention to. Take a step back, don't react, don't jump, don't be impulsive. Remember the Mam Ritanya mantra in the background. And I will finish by saying thank you so much to all the Patreon subscribers, to all the Patreon community for supporting this work and this service. If you want to help me and support me in what I do, you can like this movie, it helps, and you can subscribe to our channel, you can share it with your friends and family. It will be great to expand it further. If you want to support me further and be a part of our community, join us on patreon.com/healingdelight. This is where we are connecting every day on different subjects, different chat rooms. We have a lot of things going on there. And this is where you can hear from me every day, except the week when my grandfather passing away. And also, if you want to come to Sound Healing Meditation, I will be at Here Yoga on Tuesday at 7 p.m. This is the chart for Tuesday meditation. We will have the moon coming conjunct Mars on that night. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Moon conjunct Mars. And Mercury will be with Jupiter. So a great night to meditate. Pluto will be already in 4 minutes of Aquarius, of 0 degree. If you want to join us, we're going to put our minds to ease and calm our emotional state of well-being. We're going to take masculine Mars action with the moon to regulate our emotional bodies, to create emotional security and stability inside of us as we calm down the ego mind and surrender it to the universal knowledge and teaching of Jupiter, in order so that we can understand, realize what is this healing process we've been identifying and working on, and what is this new vibration we are tuning into with Pluto in Aquarius. So yeah, join us on Hear Yoga 7 p.m. Tuesday night, and join our community. And thank you all so much for your support. I send my love and my blessings to my beloved Pepe, Eliyahu Skuri, יהיה זיכרונה לברכה, מנוחתך בגן העדן. May you rest in peace and forever be blessed by the divine. And thank you all, family, for so much. Dana, Alex, Rowena, thank you for the love, Rowena. Yeah, I will end the live stream with a bit of Aquarian kind of vibration, electronic music, futuristic music, you know. Let's go, let's have some fun. And yeah, congratulations for graduating Pluto in Capricorn, and welcome to Pluto in Aquarius. Ride the lightning, baby. Thank you, Igel, Janaline, Dana, Shalom, thank you, blessings, peace. I love you, family. Have a good weekend. Remember, be the bigger one, be the wise one. Know there's going to be a lot of electricity. Ground yourself, lots of water, nervous system maintenance. Take care of yourself. And I will see you next week, unless you come on Tuesday to Hear Yoga. So, Cosmic Gate to end our session. And have some fun. Love you, family. Peace. Pluto in Aquarius, baby. Into the future we go. The power of the people, the power of humanity. Futuristic. Woohoo!